forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
So, guys, this is a session number 1 for SAP TM training. We are starting a new iteration. This would be a session number 1. So we would be having in TM, we have a multiple trainers. I start up with the overview of TM and then the architecture of TM, some part of the master data of TM I would be covering. Then we would be having Adi, Sandeep, and Raj coming into the picture to do the different sessions. Okay, we are trying to get this training delivered with 4 trainers with their expertise areas. Okay. So I have done a demo session, which was on the Monday. I have tried to cover the terminology. Many of you was not able to join that session. So what I would be doing in today's session, I will quickly go to the terminology and then I will jump into the architecture, TM architecture part. That we would be covering in today's session. In next Sunday session, we would be jumping into the system. I am preparing 2022 system and the basic scenarios will get prepared in that system. The lab would be ready by end of day today and we will be releasing it. Then in next few days, we'll also checking it for the TM. And next Sunday, we would be doing one end-to-end scenario with the standard master data and enterprise structure. We'll try to do one end-to-end scenario in system for TM. Post that, we will be going into the enterprise structure. We'll be setting up the system from the scratch, creating a company code and everything we'll do from the scratch, creating a master data, and then again, we'll do an end-to-end cycle with the TM. That's how we will be going ahead. So first going through the basics, then trying to do an end user scenario, and then configurations and master data, and then again end-to-end scenario. That's what we will be doing. And in between, before we do end-to-end scenario, there will be so many configurations which will come into the picture, which we need to go through. Okay. We'll be doing this in a gamifier mode, where basically we'll be doing around 40 hours of instructor-led training. Within the 40 hours of instructor-led training, we'll try to complete it, this training program. Okay, so as this is a session number 1, I would be starting from basic. But before I start, can you let me know how many people are here who does not have any background for TM? Not TM, I mean who does not have any background to the transportation. Neither they have worked into the as a SAP TM consultant. Put me in the chat window. If you have that, put me in the chat window. And you have not worked into the industries where the logistics happens, the transportation, carrier, shipments happen, that kind of functional operation experience, you don't have it. Put me in the chat window. So we have Tan, Fozia, Gino, even we have also Santosh has no SAP background, Muhammad, Ram, Ranjan. Many people are there who does not have a transportation background. Now, if you don't have a transportation background, that's okay. I would be covering initial session on the terminology, and I'm also preparing this abbreviations where basically a lot of things when you will come to know into this TM and we'll be discussing with business, carrier, LSP scenario, forwarder, OTR, DTR. So many things will come which will be very new to you, terminologies, and you will not be able to understand it. So what we'll try to cover, we'll try to make you understand that what are the different terminology and what are the business processes there, that we will go through it. With that, you would be able to catch with the SAP TM, that I make sure. But I also want you to make sure that everybody knows who is in this session, that who is the right person to get this training. I just, because we are doing this courses, we are selling, I don't want to everyone to push and sell this course. I want to make it very clear that who should learn this course, okay? Who should be learning this SAP TM, okay? If you are already know SAP in one of the functional modules, you have done a consulting, any of the module, SD, MM, TM, you have worked, any of the functional module consulting you have done, you can cross-sell, you can upskill yourself to TM. TM opportunities are very good. The market is booming for TM. What are the reasons that why a market is booming for TM? Why a lot of TM consultants are required? I will come to that. That is the reason sometimes the new people, they don't have any background to SAP, they don't have any operational background also, they come to me and they want to say, we want to learn SAP TM. I just tell them, just hold on. You need to go step by step. So if you are already consulting any functional module in SAP, you can jump into TM. That's not a problem because you are used to have a discussion with business. You are used to have how the projects runs. You would be able to easily catch it up. If you are a TM end user, TM core user working in a project, you are the one to go ahead without even a consulting experience also. If you have a deep experience in logistics execution, you have a very good experience in the logistics execution, you have a very good operations experience, then also you can go ahead with. Okay. You are SAP expert in any module you want to cross train on TM, you would be able to go ahead and you will be able to start with it. Not a problem. Now, the people who does not have any SAP background, they would be learning first time SAP. This is not a right module. This is the right module, but this should not be the first step. Anyone who is very much interested in TM and he would be getting first time introduced to SAP and he does not have a strong logistics experience also, I suggest them to do first SAP SD and then move to SAP TM. Okay, until unless you have a strong transportation experience in the operations, then you can directly jump. Otherwise, we suggest to go step by step path. Do SD first and then TM. And you will see when we'll be doing TM has a very strong integration with SD module and very strong integration with MM, sourcing and procurement. SD specifically, the integration is more strong. Why it is strong, where it is get integrated, we'll go through in this training. But that's where basically if you are a SAP, if you're a complete fresher, if you're trying to look for TM, when you will start, you will find it a little difficult to grasp. So my suggestion for the complete fresher, people does not have any SAP background, first to go with SAP SD, then to jump into SAP TM. Okay, so with that, I'm starting. I hope everybody would be clear that where do you stand. SAP consulting experience you have, no need to worry, you'll be able to catch it up. Now, the first thing I would be discussing the process, right? That why actually the TM is required, not the TM is required. Why transportation is required? Why transportation planning is required? Okay, why do we need to put a separate big software with high paid consultant putting into it, putting a system together to help us onto the transport management? Okay, why do we need to have a transport management? Okay, that's the first thing we'll try to understand. You all will be on mute. So I think today's session is the open session. Tomorrow's session, which will be not tomorrow, the next session, which will be happening. Most of you are already enrolled, but next session, only the enrolled people would be able to join. So you all would be on mute. So if you want to ask any question for today's session, from the next session, I will give the unmute access. But from today's session, if you want to ask any question, any doubt you have, please put it on the chat. I would be having a frequent break. I would be checking the chat and I would be responding to the questions. Okay. So, सबसे पहले first thing, कि transportation management, why do we require it? You have a factory, okay? This is your manufacturing unit, where you are producing it. Then you have this is your warehouse or distribution center. Okay, this is your warehouse or distribution center. And this is your different customers. Okay, and you want to deliver it to the customer. So what you want to do, you want to make the deliveries. Your deliveries would be, one delivery would be from here to a truck would be going to send it to the warehouse. From warehouse, it would be dispatching, or from your distribution centers, it would be dispatching. Vehicle would be going. It would be dispatching to the different customers also. And sometimes you will say that from manufacturing unit, I'm dispatching to the distribution center. This customer, it makes sense that I do the delivery from my manufacturing unit itself. I arrange a truck and I do get the delivery done to the this part. And there would be some customer, this one, who is basically outside the country. So there would be some ocean shipment, you need to do it. So from this to this leg, a truck would come, then a ship will come, and then again from ship, you would be using a truck to get the delivery to the customer. Now, to manage these scenario, to manage these transportations, you need to know that which area your customers are, okay, which area your customers are, and what kind of deliveries are made, we need to make to them. Okay, to make those deliveries, what kind of vehicles are required? So there would be multiple different vehicles. There would be a smaller truck, bigger truck, 20-ton truck, 16 feet, 20 feet, 24 feet. Different dimension trucks would be there. Different means of transportation would be there. You can send it by truck. You can also send it by air. You can also send it by ship. Okay, you can do it the multiple things. Now, I'm a manufacturer and manufacturing, let's say I'm manufacturing foods and beverages. Okay, to manufacture foods and beverages, my basic business is to make sure the manufacturing of the product happens. Now, the transportation can be very complex. Now, where I need to send, which country I need to send, which city I need to send, who would be providing me the truck, who would be arranging the cargoes, who would be arranging the shipments, which carrier I would be using for ocean shipment, which carrier I would be using for the airlifts, right? So I would be using a little bit terminology, carrier and other things. People who are very new, even they don't know that terminology, I would be coming to that. I would explain you one by one all the terminology. But try to understand in these scenarios where basically the requirement would be first, when somebody would be planning this. Okay, let me ask you now, when somebody need to plan for this, dispatch from the distribution center or dispatch from the manufacturing unit, you consider yourself as a transport planner working in a company. What kind of things you would be required? What kind of things you should think about? Ki, if I need to transport this shipment, what kind of things you should consider that you should be knowing? Quickly answer of the chat window. What things you will consider it? Manish has a generic question. Manish, just stay on your question. I would be taking that question at the last of the session. The very good question I would be taking at the last. Departure, country and destination, on-time delivery, full truckload capacity. That's very good answers coming it up. So first you need to know what is your source. Second, you need to know what is the destination. Third, you need to know what kind of load we are having it, whether it's a full truckload or less than a truckload, what distance we need to cover. What else? Come on, more answers, more answers. Speed of the delivery, weight capacity of the truck, right? Starting and end point, space required, express as normal, transit times, priority, costing, best route. Yeah, you need to know there are so many things you need to know and do the planning, but I'm mentioning the high level things. What is the load you are having? What is then you need to know what route you need to send it to. Then you need to know that what are the carriers or freight forwarder. I will come to this terminology, carrier and freight forwarder. Who would be the carrier? So you would not be having all of this truck all in your places. So I am a manufacturing of foods and beverages. I'm not the expert into the transportation business, and I am manufacturing it 4 locations, storing it into the 8 or 10 locations, different warehouse distribution centers, and dispatching it to the 100 of the locations. So all this 100 of the location, I cannot have my own trucks. I cannot have my own fleets, own transportation. If I go with that, I need to expand and invest a lot. And then if I have all the places, all my own truck, managing those and making sure that I'm using as per their full capability and capacities would be a very much challenging to me. Okay, in one of the particular region, I need to just make a delivery once in a month or once in a week. For that, I cannot buy my own fleet, right? Some places, let's say this one, I'm regularly shipping to my warehouse. I can say, okay, I should have own my 5 trucks. But most of the places, to cover the full country or to cover the globe, you cannot say that everything you would be owning it. So you need to take help from the third parties. Those third parties would be the carriers and the freight forwarders. So you need to know that who would be your third parties, who would support you, which carrier you need to find it out, which freight forwarder you need to find it out, in which route they work on, what would be the cost they would be charging, what would be the freight cost they would be charging, that you need to know. How many legs would be there in shipment? So if it is a here to here, there's a one leg. If it is you are sending it to outside the country through the ocean, there would be one leg with the truck putting it to the your port yard, and from the port it would be going into a ship, and then again it will go to the destination port, and from the destination port it will be going to your final customer location. So there would be the multiple legs involved. So how many legs are involved? For the multiple legs, multiple different carriers should be required. What is the cost for them? How much they cost, different carriers? And then based on that, you need to do your freight forwarder or carrier selection.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Then you need to monitor that the truck, who would be operating the truck should come on time, and the dispatch should happen, the loading should happen, picking should happen, and then the dispatch should happen, proof of delivery should happen, and it should reach destination. And after doing that, you should try to understand that you need to also pay to your carrier and the freight forwarder. This poor guy who is providing a service to you, you need to also pay back to him, right? So how much of distance it has traveled, and based on your agreements, there should be agreements, and based on that, you need to do the payment. So there would be a lot of activities which will require in the transportation. Now, to managing these transportation, we did one of the case in one of the, I'm giving FMCG. In FMCG, we did the implementation. We did one of the case, and there was in each factory and distribution center, there were 3 to 4 people who are sitting and managing these activities by taking help of SAP, some part of SAP, and then by doing a lot of Excel work, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails they were doing. And there was 3 to 4 full-time FTs in each manufacturing plant and distribution center, controlling and managing the transportation. And then when we went ahead with the transport management solution, we cutted those 3 to 4 FTs to a single FT. FT is full-time employee. FT is full-time employee. So 3 to 4 FTs, we were able to cut single FT because we put it a system which give you the full transferability, that and everything, all the data is there. And rather than you are planning a lot of things, system do the optimization run and system do the plannings, right? Now, what kind of plannings would be required? What kind of optimization would be required, even with the manual work, which would be very difficult to do? And that's why you require a transport management system. Now, you want to send a truck from here, okay, to the warehouse, okay? And this truck, when you send it, it also need to come back. If you have a little bit of experience, let's say sometime if you're going from, you arrive at the Delhi airport, and let's say from Delhi, you are going to the Dehradun, and you booked a taxi. So when you booked a taxi, he does not charge you only for Delhi to Dehradun. Many service provider would be charging to you Delhi to Dehradun and Dehradun to Delhi also, even though you are not coming back. But his taxi need to come back, right? And some people would not charge 100%. The second leg where you are not using services, they would be charging 100% for the first leg. And for the return one, they would be charging 50%, 40%. Different carriers, different freight forwarders would be doing this different arrangement. Okay. So if you are sending this truck, it is delivering to the warehouse, it is coming back empty. Actually, you are wasting your resource. Actually, you are wasting your resource, right? So you need to do the transportation planning. First thing, the transportation planning, when this truck is moving, it should be a full truckload. If a big truck is there and you are just sending a 4 cartons, 4 cases, it does not make sense. The transportation cost would be huge for that. You will not believe, in most of the industry, specifically in the consumer good industry, transportation cost, or not only the transportation and distribution cost is more than the material cost, is more than the raw material cost. Okay, I will repeat again, transportation and the distribution cost is more than the raw material cost in most of the industries. So transportation cost is the key thing where basically you would be playing a margins, direct margins. If you have saved 1% transportation cost, 2% transportation cost, that directly add to your revenues. Okay, that directly add to your revenues, to your profits. So that cost would be cost if you will save. We did one implementation in Turkey. There with this transport management implementation, system suggested that we should be using big truck, and system suggests that rather than sending one delivery, which multiple deliveries I can combine, and then we would be able to use the bigger truck. Within 2 to 3 years, they recorded their, not 3 years, within the span of 5 years, the saving which happens due to using of this big truck and combining the shipment, combining the deliveries together to ship it, went into the millions. I'm talking about one of the Fortune 500 and biggest in its segment company. It went into the millions. Okay, so that cost, transportation cost, is a huge cost which comes to it, and we need to make sure that we do the optimization of this cost. We try to cut that cost. Now, a truck coming here, coming empty here, you would be preferring, why not my truck come there, deliver to the warehouse, and then from there it sent to this customer, then this customer, and then let's say there's one more customer is here, send product to this customer, and here I have a vendor also who supply me material. Pick the material from this vendor and then come back to this manufacturing unit. Now that would be a complete route where you would be utilizing the full resource. It is going to the warehouse. From warehouse, again, it is picking the full truckload. It is doing into the multiple customers, and customers, when it is coming back, it is also bringing the material back from the vendor. Giving you example, you are in Pune, and you are distributing from Pune to Mumbai. Okay, your customer is in Mumbai, so your truck goes from Pune and it distributes 3 different customers in Mumbai. Full truckload you manage Mumbai, and then it need to come back empty. But if you find it out, in Mumbai I have a vendor who also supplies me the material, and he also charge me the freight for that. So why not I paying the empty leg? Why not I send a truck to vendor, and by coming back, he picks the material from my vendor and then comes back. That's how I would be saving the cost. Okay, that's how I would be saving. First saving, rather than sending individual trucks, I identify that what can be the best route where I can have a full truckload, and the truck can go from one customer to another customer and then come back by picking from the vendor. That's how my transportation cost would be optimized. Okay, now which customer deliveries you need to combine? One customer is having a load of 8 ton, another customer is having a load of 14 ton. 14 plus 8 is equal to your 22 ton. That will not fit in a truck of 20 ton, which is having a capacity of 20 ton, right? So you need to find it out, that exact deliveries which can be combined in a route to give you a full truckload. And once you identify, okay, this is my full truckload, now in that leg, you would be finding DHL is also providing a service, DTDC is also providing a service, ABC transportation is also providing a service. So there are the multiple service providers are there, and they will be having a multiple different rates, and they would be having a different terms and conditions. So which one you should select it? Okay, and then after you selected it, then you need to also clear the payments to it. So for all management of all this, management of your transportation, making sure your transportation cost is reduced, making sure that you are using your optimal resources, making sure you are selecting the right carriers, right freight forwarders who give you on the optimal cost. You need some system. Okay, you need some system which will help you to run all this show, which will help you to run all this optimization. The picture I have drawn, believe me, is a very simple picture. In actual scenario, it would be very complicated. It can be for Fortune 500 companies, having a business around the globe, having a business multiple countries, within the countries, having a business in all the regions. The process can be very complicated. And to manage those processes, you need some good transport management system. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about SAP TM. I'm just talking about, ki boss, why do we require a transport management? Why do we require a system as a transport management? Okay. If you understand that why do we require a transport management? My next question to you is, what are the different companies? Okay. What are the different companies who provide the transport solution, who provide the IT solution, IT products to manage the transportation? Quickly answer over the chat window. By the time I will check if you have any question. Quickly, what do you know? Which products do you know? No, DHL Prem is a name of your carrier or a freight forwarder. I'm asking what IT products are available to manage the transportation. OTM, Kyndryl, SAP, Oracle, CargoWise. Oracle is Oracle Transportation System. Manhattan, Oracle, SAP, Oracle. Okay. Okay. Now let me ask you, who is the flagship runner? Who is out of these ones? Who is the flagship runner? Who is having the most business in the transportation? Gino is saying Oracle. Pawan is saying Oracle. Yes. OTM, Oracle Transport Management, is the flagship runner. So let me show you. I have, I think, TM products. Yeah, competitors. So SAP TM is there. Then we have a Oracle Transport Management. Then we have a Blue Yonder TMS, Mercury Gate, Transplace, and another things also Manhattan and another examples also which you mentioned. Out of this, the flagship runner is TM. Now, why TM is flagship runner? Do you know what is the first transport solution, transport management solution, which SAP has worked on? What was that? What was the SAP's first transport management solution? Anybody knows the name? APO, yes. APO, they tried and the name was TPVS, Transport Planning and Vehicle Scheduling. That was within APO, or we call it within supply chain box. Supply chain box is a separate box by SAP, which provides the different products. In that, they were having a TPVS. TPVS, they have stopped long back because that was not a success. So when SAP was working on TPVS, where they found the failure, Oracle worked onto the OTM, Oracle Transport Management, and they find a good success with the Oracle Transport Management, and OTM become a flagship runner into the transport management market. Although SAP is always a flagship runner in overall ERP, but for a particular transport management solution, OTM become a flagship runner. I have done multiple implementation on OTM also, where we have integrated SAP and OTM and delivered the solution to TM, deliver the solution to client. I also worked in where basically we also compared the products and we went give the suggestions to the business that which product they should select. Now, OTM was the flagship runner. OTM is also a flagship runner, but now SAP is giving a very tough competition, very good competition, and it's increasing its market share. SAP is increasing its market share with inclusion of TM. The latest version of SAP product TM is 9.6. And then the major change is coming with the S4HANA embedded TM. I will spoke about them. With S4HANA embedded TM, within their core, now what was there? That transport management was always a separate solution. Whether it is TPVS or whether it is TM, it was always a separate product, separate server, separate solution. It need to integrate with the SAP. So the business think here, when I need to put it a separate server and I need to integrate with SAP, why not I think about the other than SAP products also? If TM can be integrated with SAP, then OTM can also be integrated with SAP. Okay. Then business thinks from that perspective, even when separate servers, separate integration, separate monitoring is required, then let's also talk about the other products. Now, when SAP started putting the embedded TM, where TM has embedded in core ERP system, and where the business was having a requirement of transportation, then the mindset changed. I want to manage my transportation within my country. I have a S4HANA. Within S4HANA, I have a transport management solution. I need to just pay an extra license cost and start using it. Okay, everything is available. That's where basically with the embedded TM, SAP is increasing its market share. And SAP has also improved after stopping TPVS, they bring it TM. And with TM, they have put it all the functionalities of vehicle scheduling and the optimization, all this functionality, they have brought it in SAP TM. And that's where now it is giving a competition to the OTM. If you will see the market share, OTM still has a higher market share than the TM, but SAP TM is increasing its market share. Another good company which is doing a good one is Blue Yonder. Somewhere I have heard, I have never worked on the Blue Yonder, that it is linked with Oracle, or maybe Oracle has acquired it or trying to acquire it. So the Blue Yonder is also right now the three big names into the transport management is SAP Transport Management, Oracle Transport Management, and Blue Yonder TMS. These are the three uh, main ones who's giving a lot of competition in the who's doing a lot of competition in the market. What we are going to learn, we are going to learn SAP TM. But once you learn SAP TM, I can ensure you, okay, if you are a little bit explorative in nature, if you understand TM, if you understand the business processes, if you understand how the transport management happens in TM, SAP TM, in future, if Blue Yonder upgraded themselves, Oracle upgraded themselves, it would be very easy for you to switch from one tool to another tool. Just have an open mindset. Okay, just have an open mindset and ability and zeal to learn and be explorative in nature. You would be able to switch. That's where I say that the functional consultant market is never going to die, because as a functional consultant you will become a very strong onto the business processes, right? When you know the business processes, whether it's any ERP tool, 80% things are same. 80% business processes same. The way the configuration is done, the way the master data is done, that is also 50-60% is same. They would be having a little different screen, different way to do it, but other things remain same. Okay, so it would be easy for you to jump into from even not only from one module to another module in SAP, even to jump into from one ERP to another ERP also would be easy for you once you have a good hand on one ERP system. Okay, so now I would be jumping into a little bit of the terminology. Once you understand that what is the transport management, what are the different competitors products available in the transport management, and where SAP TM stands. If you understand that part, I would be jumping into the next part. Till this time, if you have any question, put it on the chat. If you don't have any question, you can put NQ in the chat, but type something. Okay, put NQ in the chat quickly. Or you can also type your question. Pawan is asking, so far, how many clients are using SAP TM? I don't know the exact count, but I can try to check from the SAP blogs if they have disclosed the number of clients who are using SAP TM. But there are many clients, many Fortune 500 companies are now adopting to SAP TM. Okay, you will not be having any shortfall of opportunities on SAP TM. Okay, so the numbers would be in thousands for sure, but exact number I don't know. I can try to check if recently they have disclosed the count. Generally, they do it, that what are the counts of the clients they have. I will try to check and let you know. Sachin is asking what benefits of OTM over SAP TM. So we did that comparison. Let me remember the year. I think it was somewhere 2012. We did that comparison. At that time, after that, I have not done. After that, I have worked only on TM. That was the 2012. We did the OTM implementation. 2012, we did the comparison, and after the comparison, multiple tools, the final comparison came to OTM versus TM. That was the final comparison. And the reason why it has been implemented, OTM was implemented because of this optimization capabilities. So optimization capabilities was very strong, and their optimization engine was fine-tuned up to 8 to 10 years. It has been fine-tuned for 8 to 10 years bandwidth it has gone. But in 2012, SAP stopped TPVS and then they started with the TM. So they considered TM as an unmatured tool in 2012. It was unmatured. Their planning engine just came in, and when you put some planning and optimization engine, it requires some time span to get modified to make sure that all algorithms can be fine-tuned to give you the better results. So what we found, because of the two reasons, the optimization was better in OTM, and second, OTM was more mature tool at 2012 compared to SAP TM. OTM was implemented. Okay, OTM was implemented, and OTM was also having a web-based screen from the browser-based. You would be able to quickly access the OTM. I'm talking about 2010 and 12. Everything happened on the browser. You don't need GUI. So user-friendly also, it found that OTM would be the better user-friendly than the SAP TM. Those were the, the things which is right now I remember from that area when we did the comparison. That's to answer Sachin's question. Shrikant is asking, is GTM is also available in SAP TM? If you can elaborate the terminology, what are you using the terminology G? It's a global transport management. Atish is asking what we are teaching here. We will be teaching here the embedded TM. I will let you know, just stay on. I will be going today to the architecture also, and you will come to know that why we are teaching SAP S/4HANA embedded TM, and now why not standalone TM. Although we would be having one chapter, where basically we'll let you know that 90% things would be the screen wise, working wise, configuration wise would be same. We'll also let you know that how would be the integration theoretically would be happening between SAP and standalone TM. Okay, but I will let you know in today's chapter later today that why embedded TM. Cost difference. I don't remember the cost difference, Sachin. Manish is having a question. How many people get involved in working in SAP TM? Is it 1 or 2 people per organization? Working in SAP TM. Now, SAP TM would be having, now this question is for Manish, everybody sync onto the same page. The question is, how many people get involved in working in SAP TM? Is it 1 to 2 people per organization? I will just tell you the example where we have done. So when you have a TM system, what we did, okay, what we did when we have a TM system, I'm talking about the global organization, okay. So we did rather than in each of the factory or each of the warehouse, people using I'm talking about the best of the one which I have seen. That example I'm giving. Multiple companies can have a different structure. Where the different people were working, we created control towers. Under the control tower, we created a corporate office. And we say that when we have a system, a centralized system, we don't need the people sitting into the individual places and managing their transportation. So we created a control tower, and the company has readjusted their FTs, full-term employees, who are actually physically seeing it and planning it, that every place it was 3 to 4, they have cut it to 1 to 2 in each of the factory and the warehouses. And they try to put only one person there. And they put it a corporate office in Bangalore. A control tower has been created where we have put it around to manage the stuff, around 25 to 30 people they have put it there, who would be managing the full stuff in country India. So earlier the count was somewhere around 150 to 200. They put it into the corporate office, 20 to 30 people, giving them the transport management system, which has a full visibility, which cities, which country within the India, which regions, what are the transport requirement, what are the carrier, everything is at the same in single place. And they would be doing the optimized transportation planning from there. Although the transport optimizer would be giving you result, but manually also you need to put your manual inputs to fine tune it further. So 25 to 30 people was put it there. I'm talking about a very big company. You can consider in its segment, it's one of the top 2 companies. Okay. So that was a control tower was put it there. Then for the Middle East, one control tower was put it, and then one control tower was put it for the another Asia countries, including Turkey, one control tower in US and Canada, and one control tower more in Africa region. 5, 6 control tower was put it there. And the total number of people who was using SAP, who was using TM was more than 200. Around 200 plus people was using as an end user of TM. Okay, that was the end user to implement. Also, we were having a very big team. There was almost that implementation went up to 5 years. We did that implementation because it's we need to do around the globe. 4 different teams was made, and I think easily 100 plus consultants were working on that. Including SAP consultants are also required to have a integration with ST, to have an integration with MM. Planning and Gino has a question. Planning and optimization in SAP TM would require any technical coding skill? No, there's no coding skills are required. Global trade management is not available. Shrikant is asking, global trade management is not available in TM. The separate product is there, GTS, Global Trade Services. GTS is a separate product for that. Rajesh is asking, decentralized sidecar standalone. That is the architecture. I will be coming back next to the architecture. Just stay on. Sachin is asking, I want to talk to instructor who would be taking the TM planning sessions. TM planning session would be taken by Adi. So Sachin, you can put your questions to the support team that what questions you have, and then we'll get response from Adi. If required to get those response, we can also arrange a quick discussion with Adi. Okay, that's not a problem. Which is the extra on TM over LEO, logistic execution and optimizer, which is embedded application with SAP. So I will also talk about what is the difference between LE and the TM. I would also talk about in the architecture part. Just hold on. So let me now quickly, because there are a few people who will be joining. This is a session number 1, and they will be joining the first time. Let me go into the quick terminology, that what are the different terminology we use it in SAP TM. So what is going to happen? So let's say this is I would be using this diagram to explain you. Let's say this is the place where you are shipping. Okay. And this is the place where you are going to ship. So this is your customer. Okay. This is your customer. And this is your manufacturing unit or your warehouse from where you are shipping. So from where you are shipping, you are shipping it, right? So you are called shipper who is shipping it, and you are shipping to your customer. So this is called customer. The another terminology we will see, especially into the transportation business, the shipper is also called consigner. So from where you are sending the product would be called the consigner, and whoever is receiving would be called consignee. Now, don't get confused that the consignee is always customer. Okay. Most of the cases, consignee would be the customer, but don't get confused. Just have a transportation. I am sending it. I am a consigner. You are receiving it. You are a consignee, because the things can change. For you sending it to the customer, you are a consigner. But when your vendor, when your supplier is sending it to you, when your supplier is sending it to you, you will become a consignee. Your supplier will become a consigner. Okay. Your supplier will become a consigner and you will become a consignee. Same way, if your customer is sending return to you, then customer become a consigner and you become a consignee. Okay. So I'm telling you these terminology because when you will go into the consulting and you don't have a proper transportation background, you would be having a problem in that. Ki bhaiya, they would be talking about consigner, consignee, freight forwarder, this LSP, and you would be confused. Like, what is that? And I have seen when I have done the transport management implementation, the first one which I have done the Oracle transport management, I have seen that when consultants was there and they were talking with the business, and I see that the Oracle transport management consultant, they don't understand many terminology. During the workshop, somebody asked that one guy was talking about freight forwarder, another guy was talking about LSP, third was talking about carrier, and somebody asked that to the consultant that what was the difference between three. He was not able to explain. He was not able to understand when they say carrier, what is it is, when they say LSP, what it is. Okay, so let's make sure that you understand the terminology, because if you want to understand the business, if it is very important to understand the business terminology. What I do, I have done the consulting into the multiple different modules, including the multiple different industry segments. So whenever I get a new project, I just try to find it out that what is there into that new project. So when I work into a steel manufacturing industry, before going there, I was doing a lot of Google before joining 2-3 days of project, that what is steel, how the steel is manufactured, what are the different terminology has been used. And then I jumped into the project, because business would be using business terminology. You cannot ask them to use SAP terminology, right? And if you know that industry's business terminology, the consulting would be very easy for you. So always I suggest to all of the consultant, when you're going to the new project, don't take it for granted. Just do your homework. Just do a little bit of your homework. I got a lot of advantages when I jump into the steel manufacturing. They were talking about heat number, and nobody was the consultant knows the heat number. Then I explained what is heat number, what they are talking about. When I went to the construction, I spent 2-3 days on the Google checking the videos that how the manufacturing in the construction happens, how the construction projects work. That they use a lot of terminology, element ID, element number, and then consultant does not understand this element is material or what they are talking about. So make sure that whichever consulting you are doing, whichever industry you are doing, within the transportation also, if you're doing in for the consumer goods, now then after the consumer goods you are shipping it, you are doing it for the another industry, which is a high-tech industry. Make sure get customized to the terminologies and try to understand that industry business. That would be helping you a lot to do the consulting. So this is the terminology they would be using: consigner, consignee, shipper. Who is a shipper? They would be using. Who is a consigner, consignee, you should know. Then they would be using a terminology about carrier. Now, who would be the carrier? I have also used this terminology when I was explaining. Now, the guy who would be coming here and who would be making sure he pick the products for you and deliver the products would be calling a carrier. The carrier can provide you trucks. There can be a separate carrier who can provide you airlifts. There can be separate provider who can provide you the ocean shipments. Different carriers, and within the different regions, different carriers. Carrier is your service provider, who is providing you transportation services, because you would not be owning all the transportations. Okay, you would be your carriers, different carriers. They would be having a good hand onto the transportation. They do the transportation business. So they would be providing you truck. So if you want to ship from here to here, who is your carrier who is providing you truck, the required truck which you want, pick the material for you and make sure that the it has been delivered to the customer and taken, the proof of delivery has been taken. That person, that company who provide you that services is called carrier. Okay, is called carrier. Carrier generally would be having their own trucks. Okay, within their regions they would be managing, and within the different regions when you will be working in Maharashtra, in Punjab, in Rajasthan, you would be finding a different carriers who would be having a very strong network of their transportation in a particular region. So you need to handle the different carriers in different regions. Then the another terminology would be coming is freight forwarder. Okay, I explained you what is carrier. Can anyone explain me that who would be the freight forwarder? Okay, who would be the freight forwarder? Quickly over the chat window. I would be back in a minute. Make sure everyone types something. If you don't know anything, what is freight forwarder? Put NI If you know, if you have some idea, put it on the chat quickly. I would be back in a minute. What is, as per you, who is freight forwarder? Quickly in the chat. Hey, I am back and I see a lot of responses. Let me quickly check it.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Middleman between carrier and consignor. One who provides carrier services to shipper, a freight forwarder who helps to find the carrier for transportation, anyone who is organizing shipping and transportation, LSP, a company that handles delivery of other company. Freight forwarder is the one who be providing services for arranging the carriers. Very good answers, super answers. Thank you. Thank you all for responding. So basically what is going to happen now, I told you there would be different carriers, right? There would be in the different regions, there would be different carriers, and within the region also, there would be different carriers. Within Maharashtra also, there would be 10 different carriers who would be providing services. They have different capabilities, they have different capacities, okay? Capabilities, capacities, availability of vehicle, and then you need to find out the another carriers, another set of carriers when you go to the another region. And when you do the air shipment, there would be the different, your all airlines provide the cargo services, so they are the carriers. And when you go to the your shipment through the ocean, then there would be separate carriers. So as a company, if you deal with the carrier, you need to deal with so many different peoples, right? Then it comes that, okay, that first you don't want to own the transportation. You said, okay, I'm giving the transportation to other, I will take the carrier. Then you find that, okay, still it is very complex. I need to handle so many people, so many data I need to manage. I need to check the availabilities, the vehicles, whether they have available, what is the capacity they have. That all things I need to check it. So, and when they don't have a vehicle availability, I need to switch to another carrier, right? So I said that, okay, I need another middleman who would be taking care of all of the carriers. That middleman is called freight forwarder or freight provider. Two terminologies used, freight forwarder or freight provider. Now, freight forwarder would be a little bit bigger and intelligent company. Little bit bigger and intelligent company. They would be having a data with all of these carriers, and they would be having a contract with all of this carrier, and they would also be having some pre-volume booked for all of these carriers. Okay, carrier would be the still one who would be owning the truck and providing the services. Now this freight forwarder would be having a contract within the Maharashtra. 10 big carriers are there, they would be having contract with them. And based on, because this freight forwarder would not only provide service to you, he's providing service to 10 another customer. So he knows the bigger volume. So he can have a pre-booked volume with the carriers. He can have a pre-booked capacities with the carriers, which they would be providing it to. So he would be having a multiple contracts with the multiple different carriers. Based on that, he would be having its own rate chart, that in this particular regions, if you want to do it, whatever the carrier I will use, but I will provide you these rates. Okay, so it's a bigger company to handle the multiple carriers. He can give you the road shipment if you require a carrier for road, if you require a carrier for air, if you require a carrier for ocean shipment. All of this he would be having, and he would also be able to take care of your multi-leg shipments. Now, let's see, if you want to deliver it from to a country to another country through the ship, you need to find the area first carrier for the road. Then second carrier, you need to find it out who would be doing the services for the ocean leg. Third carrier, you need to find in that country who would be taking the truck and delivering it to the customer. Three different carriers you need to talk about. But if you have a middleman, he would be taking care of your full shipment, all the three legs. That is called freight forwarder. It's a bigger company who is having a contract with the carriers and a contract with you. So what you would be doing, most of the companies would be going with the freight forwarders. Although, there would be, now I would be explaining you this terminologies, carrier, freight forwarder, LSP. There is a very thin line difference between this terminology. Some companies you will be going in the implementation, and they would be still, they are using a freight forwarder, the company's freight forwarder, but they would be calling him carrier. Okay, or carrier, they can call it as a freight forwarder. So there is very thin line between the definitions in the different region and countries. They can use the interchangeable terminology, but at least you should know that what is the basic difference between a carrier and a freight forwarder. Now from the contract side, you would be having a contract with the freight forwarder. Freight forwarder would be having a contract with the carrier. So if we are implementing SAP here, we would be having just this contract. Whatever the contract they are making with the carrier, it would be in their system. We would be having a just contract in our system that this is our freight forwarder for the different legs, for the different loads. These are the rates he provide. That contract we will be having in our system. Okay. Manish has a question. I have few questions. Let me check. Manish has a question. Can freight forwarder do the pooling with other organization as well in same carrier? Can freight forwarder do the pooling with the other organization as well in the same carrier? That depends on the contract. Yes, it would be able to do. If you are giving him a very small business, if you need to ship only 4 cartons, he can pick the 4 cartons from you. Then he can do the deliveries as per his own by putting into a bigger vehicle and ship it to it. Okay, that depends on your contract, but yes, freight forwarder can do the pooling at his end. He can do the pooling. If you're not giving him the full truckload, either if you say that pooling, you don't do the pooling, your full truckload is not there, then you need to pay for the full truck. Or otherwise, he will say that, okay, I'm charging half for you, half he will be using another organization product, he can carry it and take with you. Depends on your contract, but yes, ideally, he can do it. Gino has a question. So freight forwarder and LSP are different. Yeah, I will come to now LSP. I have explained you who is carrier. I have explained you who is freight forwarder. Now let's discuss about LSP. Does freight forwarder also have a contracts for rail leg? Shrikant is asking, does freight forwarder can also have a contracts for rail leg? Yes, it can have. It can have. So there are the different freight forwarder. I will go to the mind map and I will give you some examples of the company which we call as a freight forwarder. There can be a specialized freight forwarder who is only handling the rail. There can be a specialized freight forwarder who is handling the region. So within that region, whether it's road, rail, or any other mode, they can have a contract for it, for which they would be able to use and ship the product. Again, the freight forwarder is a company. What is that specialization of that company? That depends. Sachin is asking, weekend batch is on timing 7 a.m. IST, 2 hours Saturday and Sunday. Right now, this batch we would be running only on Sunday for 3 to 4 session, and after that it would be Saturday and Sunday. Today we started 6:45 a.m. India Standard Time. I will let you know the time. Most probably will be shifting it to 6:30 a.m. India Standard Time. You need to make sure that minimum you book 2.5 hours for this session. Sometime the discussion will happen and our session also go to 3 hours, but I will ask you to minimum book 2.5 hours for this session. Last discussion, if you are not interested, you can leave. We'll make sure that within 2.5 hours we cover our content, but make sure you book 2.5 hours for us. Any daytime for CST batches? No, we have only single batch right now. Getting a good consultants is very difficult. Getting their time is very difficult. So we have only single batch in the time zone which I have told you. It will take minimum 3 months to get it completed. So all the generic question, just park on it. I will be coming to all the generic question. Let's go ahead. Now I'm coming to the LSP. You understand what is transport management, why it is required, what different IT tools are available. Then you understand who is a shipper, who is consigner, consignee, who is carrier, who is freight forwarder. Now let's discuss who is LSP. Now LSP, as the name suggests, it's logistic service provider. Now, LSP in general would be even a bigger company. LSP would be even a bigger company who cannot only provide you the services for the transportation, but they can provide you the full-fledged logistics services. Now, what additional come into the logistics services is there would be companies, they also have DHL and other companies, they can also have their own warehouses. Okay. They can say that not only that I would be handling your transportation, I will also handle your warehouse. They have their third-party warehouse. They would be having a warehouse. You can also, rather than setting up your warehouse, you can use their warehouse to store your product, and they would be managing your product, and they would also be handling the transportation. So logistics service provider even is a bigger company who can own his own warehouses where not only the transportation, but storing a material also you can take from them. Okay. In certain areas, they would be having their own transportation also. They can own the transportation also. In certain area and regions, they would be having their own transportation also. And then this logistics service provider can have a contract, direct contract with the freight forwarders, or they can have a direct contract with the carriers to get their things done. But it would be a bigger company. From system wise, it's also a bigger company. They would be having intelligent systems. With them, the logistics service provider also implement SAP. They can also use SAP for the transport management. So they would be having intelligent system. They would be having a pool of data. They would be having a pool of freight forwarders, carriers. They would having their own fleets also. They can have their own warehouses also. So they can go beyond the transport management to provide the logistics services. That is called LSP, logistics service provider. Okay. We can have a SAP implemented for both of the cases. We can have SAP implemented for shipper. That would be known as a shipper scenario. You would be hearing the two scenarios, shipper scenario, and we'll be covering the both. But we go much detail into the shipper, and LSP, we just cover one quick LSP scenario, because 70 to 80% of the TM implementation which we have seen is for the shipper scenario, where you are shipping the product and the TM need to be implemented for you. Then LSP is a logistics service provider who is getting a requirements from the different shippers. Different shippers, they have a requirement, and then they are planning the transportation. So LSP also, we can do the SAP implementation. That is called the LSP scenario, where we would be getting a requirement from the shippers and we'll be managing the transportation. Okay, so we have two different scenarios, shipper, LSP. If you are a manufacturing company, you deliver the product, we are implementing TM for you. That would be a shipper scenario. If you are a logistics service provider, you don't produce a product. Your job is only to make sure that you get the transportation requirement from the different customer and clients, and then you do the shipments for them. Then you are LSP. Then we would be doing a LSP scenario implementation for you. Okay. So that two terminologies, shipper implementation and LSP implementation, also is important. And you need to make sure that these are the key terminologies which you should also put it in your CV when you're preparing your CV, because this would be available in the job descriptions. Yes, so Ram Prasad is asking, is LSP or 3PL are same? Yes, so another terminology. Thank you, Ram Prasad. In many companies I have seen, they would not be using LSP. They would be using terminology 3PL. This is our 3PL. Now, 3PL is a larger terminology. 3PL is third-party logistic vendor. Okay. Some companies would be using for carrier, freight forwarder, and LSP, they would be using a single terminology, whether it's a carrier, whether it's a freight forwarder, whether it's LSP. For us, it's a 3PL, third-party logistics provider. Whether he's only providing a truck, or he is providing services at the bigger end, or he's having its own company where he can also provide us warehouse services, they will just call 3PL. So everything is 3PL for them. But yes, 3PL is another terminology which is used very frequently in business for LSP. Shrikant is asking, OTR is applicable for LSP? Yes, OTR will be applicable for LSP. The people who don't know OTR, don't worry, I have these terminologies ready for you. I created a big abbreviations, but I have lost that data, so I'm preparing it again. So what is OTR? What is DTR? We'll come to it. Okay, in which cases we'll be using it, we'll come to it. So OTR would be used in LSP. What is OTR? If you don't know, hold on, I will come to that. Now, with this explanation, I hope that for you it would be clear: shipper, consignor, consignee, LSP, freight forwarder, and carrier. That terminology would be good. Okay, so when we'll be moving ahead into this in this training, there would be a lot of other terminologies will also come up. Cost sheet and cargoes, multiple different terminology will come up. Okay, so that terminology will handle. If I will try to put all the terminology together, you will get very confused. So whenever we'll be working onto the scenarios, the new terminologies will be coming it up, which I would be explaining to you. Okay, so one thing again I will highlight it here is your relation. So your freight forwarder would be having a contract with the carrier, or your LSP would be having a contract with the freight forwarder or carrier. If you are doing a implementation for shipper, this lag we need not to bother about what contract he has, what rates he has. This is the shipper where consignor. I am sending it products to my consignee. Okay, so I should be implementing my SAP here, which is my shipper scenario. So what contract is important for me? This freight forwarder contract would be there in my system. And in my system, this consignee would be giving me a purchase contract. Consignee is my customer who would be giving me a purchase contract, okay, to purchase it. That purchase contract in my SAP system will go as a sales order. For this consignee, it's a purchase order, but as a consignor, it would be sales order for me. So I would be punching in as my SAP a sales order, and I would be having a freight forwarder contract, which is kind of a purchase order for me in my SAP system, or a purchase contract. Why purchase contract? Because I am buying from the freight forwarder. People also get confused here. I'm buying from the freight forwarder services. So that is kind of a purchase scenario. And I am selling product. Here I am selling product to my consignee. So that is a sales order, sales scenario. Okay. Here in this leg, I would be having integration with SAP MM, or sourcing and procurement. For this leg, I would be having a strong integration with SD module. FICO will always there in picture, but these two legs will be having a two different module integration. So let me complete the terminology, and then I will come back again to the question and answer if you have anything. So let's quickly go. Shipper we have discussed. The consignor or the person who is selling it would be the shipper. Consignee, your customer who is the receiver, that would be the consignee. Freight forwarder, the another terminology can also be used as freight broker, okay, freight provider. And examples for that is like APT logistics. Have I covered the carrier? Okay, carrier will come now. APT logistics, airborne international, seal freight. Again, I am telling you, there would be a very thin line between carrier, freight forwarder, and LSP. Different company, different blogs, in different countries, they can call each other differently. Freight forwarder, they can call LSP, or freight forwarder, sometimes they can also call carrier. These are the few examples for the freight forwarders. Carriers, they can own the transport. The carrier sometimes will also be known as a motor carrier. Okay, examples for is ABC India, all airlines are your carrier. SCR Industries, Cochin Shipyard, SR Shipyard, these all are the carriers. which provide you the services, and they own the transportation leg in that area. Then logistics service provider. Let's go to the example. DHL supply chain, GXO logistics. They are the example for the logistics service provider, the bigger company. Contracts we have talked about. Loads. Okay, let's also talk about the load. So we can have a full truckload, FTL, LTL, FCL, LCL. Again, these terminologies, client will be talking about, this is my FTL, is the LTL, FCL, LCL. Don't get confused. Very simple terminology. I will explain you. FTL is your full truckload. LTL is less than truckload. FCL is full container load. So these two, FTL and LTL, generally we use it in our road scenario. Where the shipment has been made through road, we generally use FTL and LTL terminology. Where the shipment has been made through ocean, we use FCL or LCL. Okay, full container load or less than container load. That's what we use it. Now, let me ask you a question. This is my truck. Okay, on truck, I have this one steel coil. I have this one steel coil. I think there's some malfunction in the pen. Which is of one steel coil is there. Now, is it a FTL or LTL? Answers over the chat window. Is this scenario is FTL or LTL? Quickly over the chat window. LTL, maybe LTL, depends on the weight of the coil. Very good. Shrikant said depends on the weight on the coil. Depends on the volume and weight. Depend on the truck capacity. Yes, so that will not depend, what you see here. This scenario came to me when I was working into the steel manufacturing and the company manufacturing the steel coils. And when I was seeing the truck going out to the premise, that's a big truck. And they are underutilizing. They are just putting a one coil there. And that's just so much of underutilization of the resources, right? But when I went into the deeper, this coil itself is a 20-ton coil. Although by seeing it, it looks like this is empty space, this is an empty space, but the weight of the coil itself, steel coil, which is only carrying a 20% of the space, is 20 ton. And the capacity for the truck is also 20 ton. So this is a full truckload. In this case, this is a full truckload scenario. Okay, although you see that the empty space is there, but as per the weight capacity, it's fully booked, so it's a full truckload. The other way around, there can be another truck. Same truck who is carrying boxes of a product. And the weight here is 12 ton. Capacity which truck has is 20 ton. Although its weight is not fully loaded, but as per the volume, you can say as per the volume, it's a full truckload. Okay, so full truckload or less than truckload depends on the capacity of the truck, that what capacity truck has or what capacity container has. Okay, it can be as per the volume or as per the weight. You can call it as a full truckload or less than truckload. These terminologies are very important because the business would be interested to make sure that whether they are doing a full truckload or less than truckload, whatever the less than truckload is there, they want to combine the deliveries to make sure they have a scenario of full truckload. If you have a full truckload, you have a maximum utilization of your resource. If you don't have a full truckload, you don't have a maximum utilization of your resource. So all companies are interested to convert their LTL into FTL. That's where the transport management would be helping them. Okay, so shipment types. We have a single leg shipment. I have explained you the single leg road. Multi-leg also I have explained you. Between ocean would be there. So first truck leg, second ocean leg, and third truck leg. That can be the multi-leg shipments. There can be a direct shipment. Direct shipment is your vendor is directly delivering to the customer. That is called a direct shipment. So rather than you sending it to the customer, your vendor is delivering it to the customer. That's called the direct shipment. There can be the milk runs. Milk runs is from your factory, whatever you produce. Every shift, one truck goes and put the material to the distribution center. Come back, take the material, put it into the distribution center. That's the fixed time. Full truckload goes from one place to another place. Put the material, comes back. That's called the milk run shipments. There can be the multi-carrier shipments, the three-leg movement, multi-leg movement can also be a multi-carrier shipment where the different carriers would be involved. Okay, where the multiple carriers would be involved. Multi-carrier shipments are always multi-leg shipment, but multi-leg shipment might not be always a multi-carrier shipment. There are the multiple legs involved, but there is a single carrier who is providing those services. Okay, you go from one customer to another customer to another customer and come back. That is a multiple legs are there, but same carrier. In your ocean scenario, your one carrier picked it from your place, go to the port. From port, ocean carrier take it to the destination port, and then the third carrier pick it from there and send it to the customer. That is the three-leg shipment, multi-carrier shipment. Any questions on the terminology, if you have, you can ask it now before I jump into the architecture part. Any questions, if you have, you can feel free to ask it now, quickly over the chat window. If you don't have any question, put NQ over the chat window, NQ. Let me check what kind of questions do we have. Most of our NQ. I have a question from Antaraj. Antaraj is asking, as a separate set, I understand carrier, LSP, freight forwarder, but enable to map each of this with the 2PL, 3PL, 4PL. So Antara, just hold on to the next session. I think I have one more slide, which I will bring it up to give you clarity on 2PL, 3PL, and a 4PL. Okay, 2PL, 3PL, 4PL. I think I have one slide which will give you the clarity on that. So I will try to bring it up into the next session. Krishna is asking, what is milk run? Milk run is, you know, that the terminology come from the Japanese manufacturing. So when Japan come with the production system, a lot of terminology will see that it comes from Japan, and it's also come from Toyota when they went into the lean manufacturing. So that's where the terminology is used. Milk run. Milk run, you see that every day in the morning at same time you get the milk delivery. They start at the same time, they deliver at the same time, at your door, at same time you receive it. 5-10 minutes here and there can be done, but every day it is a repeated thing they do it. If they don't do it, their milk will get spoiled and then it will not be usable. So they need to be very strict, disciplined for the time. That's where you have a fixed time, fixed thing will go and reach to you. That is a milk run. The example I have given to you for milk run is from your warehouse. It goes to the distribution center. Okay. And every shift, when the shift ends at 2 p.m., whatever the product is there, you load into a truck. It goes to your one warehouse, second warehouse, third warehouse, do it, come back. And then at the end of the second shift, truck would be again loaded, one warehouse, second warehouse, third warehouse. So at certain time, certain thing, you do it repeatedly every day. That is called kind of a milk run shipments. Shrikant is asking, how can we differentiate between internodal and multimodal? Internodal and multi. Is your terminology correct, Shrikant? Can you check? Internodal and multimodal. Is it internodal and multinodal or internodal or multimodal? Multimodal, multimodal, I am hearing it first time. Just correct if your terminology is not correct.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
In milk run, also consider to occupy truck rather than empty in return. Fozia is asking, in milk run, also consider occupy truck other than empty in return. So Fozia, what happens that I have also seen milk run, the empty truck is coming. Okay. What happened in some scenario, your warehouse and the distribution centers are very close. Okay. It is very close. You just ship it. It's just a 3 kilometers or 5 kilometer away. For that smaller distance, you will not mind truck coming as an empty. Now, empty truck also, that's a very good point which came up. Empty truck is also, if you are sending it from Bangalore to Mumbai, an empty truck, you should think about it. But if I am sending it from Bangalore to very nearest point, maybe 100 kilometers, and from there, if my truck comes empty, I don't mind it. So milk run, which I have seen it, they have the distribution centers very near to their manufacturing unit. So empty truck also comes in. Rajesh is also asking, are FTL, LTL are also used in rail? Rail scenario, I have not seen business using FTL, at least full truckload or less than truckload I have not used. Some cases, the bogie can be considered as a container and you can consider as a FCL, LCL. Okay, a bogie can be considered as a container and you can consider FCL, LCL, not FTL, LTL. Ram Prasad is asking, DFS will use direct shipment and will that information will have in EWM also? Yes, there is the EWM and TM integration is there because EWM and TM, the both combines covers the logistics execution. Okay, EWM and TM both combines covers the logistic execution. So that information get transferred, but you need to set up that integration. In our training, we don't cover EWM and TM integration as of now. Okay, by the time other people are asking a question, I will give you a quick link to WhatsApp. Yeah. So what you need to do all of the sessions that you need to make your notes. And I want you to today to share your notes over the LinkedIn. So I'm giving you a LinkedIn post. Make sure you are sharing it over the LinkedIn. Mention your key learnings or your key notes from the today's session over the LinkedIn. Okay. And once you have done mentioning it, put done in the chat window. What are your key learnings from the today's session? Mention in the LinkedIn. Using LinkedIn would be very important. People are asking whether the overseas opportunities and other things that all will come from LinkedIn. Okay. I'm doing freelancing from 4 years, directly working onto the Europe and US projects, charging in either in euros or in dollars, sitting in Bangalore. I'm able to do it because of my LinkedIn network. I have made very strong LinkedIn network in last few years, and I'm getting so many overseas requirement as a freelancer from the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is really a gold mine. You cannot even, you will not be able to imagine it, that what you can earn from the LinkedIn. It's very important. That's why in each of the session, I try to pull people on the LinkedIn, go into the LinkedIn, start making your network, because learning is one part, and monetary wise growing into the monetary wise growing into your career path is another part. The both are linked, but you need to work onto the both legs. If you just try to grow into the monetary without increasing your knowledge and experience, it will not happen. If you're only increasing your knowledge and experience, but you're not working onto the channel which can take you monetary wise into the higher career opportunities, it will not work. So people who are working 3 months, 5 months down the line, you will be looking for jobs, but you need to start your job hunt right now, right away. And that right way to this is the LinkedIn. Naukri, Indeed, they all will be helpful, but the kind of experienced people, the kind of opportunities they would be getting it from the LinkedIn, you cannot compare with the Naukri or the Indeed, those platforms. So make sure you are using LinkedIn. You can get connected with me. You can get connected with SastraGeek. You can get connected with the professional who are linked with me. Okay, the recruiters who are linked with me, you can approach them through my network and start commenting it, start resharing it. And the best thing is start creating your own post over the LinkedIn. Okay, that will help you to increase your visibility and to grow your network faster. Okay, give your comments, give your only like does not matter. Like does not increase your visibility. In if you are going through the things, you are just liking it, that does not increase your visibility. Your visibility in the LinkedIn will be increased when you reshare it, when you comment it, and the most when you create your own post. By the time you have your own post or own content to put it up, there would be a lot of content you can put. You're doing my training, anything you like, you take a screenshot, you post it there. You're going through the video recording, some concept you learned, you put the screenshot, you enter your thoughts to it, you tag me, you tag SastraGeek Solution, you put it over LinkedIn. I don't mind it. Okay, but that sharing will increase your network, and that network down the line in a year or two would be giving a very good opportunities to you. Okay, so this would be a little bit longer path, but the fruits which will give it to you, you will not be able to compare it. Ram Prasad is saying, in the complete course, we don't have integration with EWM. We don't have any integration with EWM. In the complete course, we don't have any integration with EWM. I am repeating it. I don't want to make any false promise to you. We don't have any integration to EWM. Okay. We try to get it done, but this system which we use it is not that capable system. It's just a, what do you say? It's a sandbox system where we don't get enough support from the SAP. In last system, we tried to do it. Our consultant put 3 months of efforts. Multiple SAP notes need to be implemented. We got stuck and we didn't get any help from SAP for that. So that's why theoretically, if you want, I have a very good EWM consultant. I can arrange a session, EWM and TM integration theoretically, but I cannot commit it. But I can try to get it done. But in system, I'm sure we'll not be able to show it. Okay. Manish is asking, freelancing can be done in parallel with the current employment. Please share concept regarding freelancing as well. I will, if you ask me on the WhatsApp, I will put a smiley with the zip on the lips. You should understand by your own why I'm saying that. A lot of moonlighting issues are going on. So take your risk on your will, on your capability and capacities. Okay. I started my freelancing with my employment. Okay, I started my freelancing with my employment because I know that that is where I want to do it. If my company will say leave, I will not leave freelancing. I will leave my job. So I was clear with that. So I know that my bread and butter can come from somewhere, right? LBN, ASR, see, these are the advanced concept. I have a videos for them, which will tell you how the integrations happen. but these would not be shown in the system. We don't have a LBN system. We don't have a ESR system. Even you spend 4 lakh rupees with SAP on the SAP TM training, there also it has not been covered. Integration has not been shown. I have a videos for the integration, which I will be giving it to you. You can go through it, but that would be the theoretical concept. The integration would not be there. We have tried to work on, but getting a LBN connection and getting integrated with our system, technically it's not possible. Okay, that's where the theoretical part, I will share a video for it, which you can go through it, but practically will not be covering that. Okay, so once you have done the commenting over the LinkedIn, I want you to share all of your learnings, so far learnings which you have done it. Quickly go to the LinkedIn and mention in the comment. Okay, quickly go to the LinkedIn and mention in the comment. And then I will be jumping into the architecture. If you have a generic question, please park it for the last. If you have a question related to topic, you can ask it now, but generic question, park it at the last. Tan is asking, what is the closely integrated modules with SAP, with TM, SD, and MM are the closely integrated? Rajesh is asking, standalone decentralizing. I'm jumping into that, into the architecture. I will explain. Do you provide training in PM module as well? Manish is asking. We tried to provide it, but as of now, we don't have a consultant which we want. Our consultant is in Singapore getting busy in project. So it is in the pipeline, but we have not started. LBN and ASR, I have already answered what we will be covering. Okay, let's now go into in detail. Now we are jumping into the architecture. We'll be quickly jumping into the architecture. So what are the different products we have? We already spoke about, we have a SAP SCM TPVS, Transportation Planning and Vehicle Scheduling. TPVS has been stopped. It is no more available, but that is the first solution from SAP on the transport management. SAP LD is a solution which also have a shipment solution. Okay, shipment module. And then we have a SAP TM, and then we have an embedded TM. So these are the multiple things we are available. We have SAP LE. Let me go here. The LE is there. So we have SAP LE. LE also have a shipment solution. Okay. What does LE covers? What does comes into the LE? Logistics execution. Is two things comes into the LE. WM, warehouse management, a separate module is there, separate consultant is there. And then we have a shipping and transportation. That is also available in LE. This module is called as a LETRA. LETRA is going to sunset by 2030. Okay. So TPVS is no more available. After TPVS, second solution we have is a shipment, where the optimization is not there. Okay, planning and optimization is not there, but we have an execution part. How many people here has worked on LETRA? Put me in the chat window. If you have worked in LETRA. If you have worked into LETRA, please put it into the chat window. Put me in the chat window. And the people who are asking questions, I will just try that whenever you are asking question, don't put the short forms, because there are a lot of try to understand. We are into the mixed platform. We have people here who are little experienced. We have people here, they don't have experience. So they would not be able to understand your question. And if they don't understand the question, they don't relate to my answer. So always don't use the abbreviation, always put the full form in the question, so that other people who are attending this session, they would also be able to learn from your questions. Okay, we have few people who has worked, Dinakar, Antaraj, Prem, who has worked into the into LETRA. Okay. Now LETRA is also known as a shipment module. LETRA is also known as a shipment module. So what happened in that? Just give me a minute, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So the people, can you help me from where it gets start? If you talk about LETRA. Now LETRA, before I talk about it, LETRA is still available. Okay, it was available in ECC and it is available in SAP S4HANA also. Available in ECC, available in S4HANA also. Okay, in both places it is available. Now, what is LETRA? LETRA is a shipment module. So generally you create, if you have a SD experience, that's why the people who does not have any experience, I ask them to go through the SD training first and then jump into TM because there will be strong integration. So there we have a sales order. From the sales order, we create a delivery document, right? From these delivery document, which can be the multiple delivery documents, can be there. Then you can create a shipment document. That's where from delivery to shipment creation, that's where your shipment module or LETRA module comes into the picture. Okay, a shipment document you will be creating. The normal sales cycle, if I put, you can do SO, you can do delivery, you can do PGI, picking and PGI, you can do invoice, and you can receive payment. You can also do this without shipment into the picture. But if you want to have a planning of your trucks planning, if you want to do it in ECC, and it's also available in SAP S4HANA, you can create a shipment document. You can combine your deliveries and you can create a shipment document, but that creation would be manual. That would be manual in nature. Okay, you cannot do the optimization. Optimization function features are not available, but manual deliveries you can combine into a shipment document, and that shipment document would be having all the information that what are the combination is there, what is the total load of the shipment is there, what is the volume of the shipment is there. All the details would be there into the shipment document. And then against the shipment document, you would be doing a execution. Under execution, it will be picking, pick, pack, load, ship. These different things you will be doing and noting down when the picking has been done, when packing has been done, when loading has been done, when shipping has been done, and when the final goods issue has been done. You would be doing it. Okay. Now with this shipment, the another document which you will be creating it here is shipment cost document, which would be having information that what is the cost which is carrying to the shipment. Okay. And this shipment cost document will help you to get created your service PO and then service entry sheet. Now this is linking with your MM module. Why service PO? Because you have a service provider, right? Which you call it LSP, freight forwarder, or carrier from where you are taking the service, right? For that, you should be having a contract. Okay, so that would be a service PO would be created and service entry sheet would be created. And this would be punching an invoice. Which will be validated with the service entry sheet and the service PO, and you will release payment to your service provider. Okay, that's the left-hand side cycle. In right-hand side cycle, it would be continuing with your proof of delivery. From proof of delivery, you would be having an invoice document. From invoice document, you will receive payment from your customer. So this is the SD cycle. This is the in between from shipment, shipment cost, service PO, service entry sheet. This is the additional steps which will come it up to do the settlement with your service provider. Okay, that would be your LE process, LETRA process. Okay, so this module which handle these things is called LETRA. This is a very basic module in nature. It would be able to help you to execute the things, but the planning is again manual in this. You cannot have an optimization run. Optimizer cannot run and system cannot combine the deliveries automatically until unless you do a little bit some additional developments in it. You cannot combine your inbound deliveries and outbound deliveries into this. Okay, inbound and outbound together cannot be combined it. So there is a restriction to it. But this LETRA is available and SAP has given as a part of the license, which you have in ECC ERP license. Generally for the logistics module, you get it with SDM, MPP, IM. They also give a license for LETRA, which you would be able to use it. A lot of companies were using these modules just to do the handling the shipment module with the limited capabilities in the ECC system. When they jump into S4HANA, they can still use the same LETRA concept, but it would be basic in nature and you will not be having a planning option into it. Now, this one has been known as a, SAP has given a new name to it, to LETRA. They have given a new name to it. The new name of LETRA is called Classic Shipment or Classic Transportation. Okay, but LETRA will sunset by 2030. By 2030, LETRA will not be available. It is going to sunset by 2030. After 2030, there would be only TM. So you need to go for embedded TM. Now make a note of it. Everybody make a note of it. This LETRA is a separate ABAP code. And SAP TM is a totally separate ABAP code or object. They don't share any common coding principle. They are the two separate set of code objects, two separate products, separate set of code has been created. They don't interlink with each other. There is nothing that you improving in LETRA available in TM or something in TA will be available in LETRA. So that separate set of code will get discontinued as it will stop the support of it. And you will not be having that available after 2030. That is one of the reasons when people are moving to S4HANA and they are saying, I'm doing S4HANA project, then I will be coming, I will be using LETRA. So rather than LETRA, let's start using SAP TM. Okay. Now SAP TM implementation, all the clients, okay, who was using LETRA and they are moving in S4HANA implementation, they are moving with embedded TM because that is in future they need to adopt it. So they want to adopt it from now itself. So that switch is also bringing a lot of requirement of SAP TM consultant. LETRA consultant, until and unless he is trained on SAP TM, he would not be able to work on SAP TM projects because TM is a separate code, separate object, separate transaction, separate screens. Definitely LETRA can be easily learned compared to other people, the TM module, because he has a exposure to the transportation and how the execution of the transportation happen, but they need to get trained on. So that's where basically when SAP S4HANA embedded TM is happening, LETRA was simple in nature. SD consultant, many places SD consultant was asked to quickly upskill and handle the LETRA. I myself also, when I was taken as an outbound in one of the project as a SD consultant, I handled LETRA. Okay, although I was not knowing, I need to learn it in a week. And then I handled the LETRA for one of the project. But SAP TM is a specialized skill, which would be more complexer, complicated than LETRA, even the basic functions you want to implement it. That's where specialized skill would be required. Even though without a competition to Oracle Transport Management, the demand of TM consultant is increasing because of internal shift from SAP, from LETRA to SAP TM. Okay. So that was LETRA module. The future is SAP TM. Okay. Because of that embedded shift, embedded TM come into the picture. That's creating a lot of requirements of S4HANA consultant, S4HANA TM consultant. That's why I was saying that we are doing a S4HANA embedded TM training. And I want all of you to make sure you mention S4HANA TM, or if you have worked on the standalone TM, both things in your CV. Okay. I have seen some of the people who are not getting the interview calls. When I see their CV, they have just mentioned TM, standalone TM. In their full CV, S4HANA is nowhere. Although if I will put them in S4HANA TM embedded project, they would be able to handle it. So it's important because in the job description, they are saying that the person should know TM and the person should also know S4HANA, right? So the both terminology should come in your CV to get a good opportunities. So this is what we are not going to learn. This is what we are not going to touch. But this is how the basic which was available. And this is also the same replica SAP has given in SAP TM. They call it not replica, but the functionality wise replica they have given. That is called the classic TM. Okay, classic TM. Now there's a two version of TM in embedded. Without license, with license. I would be coming to that. That with license, what we can do, and without license, what we can do. But any question on this part before we move ahead? Any questions? Any question? If you have any question, put your question. If you don't have any question, put NQ on the chat window. Put NQ on the chat window. Everyone. Yeah, we'll come to that. Advanced TM license is required. TM, embedded TM can be adopted in two ways, one without license and one with license. I will come to both. Advanced TM would be requiring a license. Manish is asking what is the link between MM and TM. So you can see the link. I will come to the TM cycle also, but you can see the link here, right? In this one also, from shipment cost, you are creating a service purchase order and then service entry sheet. So in this LATRA also is linking with your SD module this side and MM module this side. The same linkage, you will be having your TM also. TM, we will be having a freight settlement document rather than the shipment cost. From the freight settlement document, your service PO and service entry sheet would be created. That would be linkage with MM. First linkage. Second linkage can be, I am talking about you are planning the outbound deliveries. Same way if you are planning the inbound deliveries, the transportation from your vendor. If you are planning your transportation from your vendor, again, inbound deliveries need to get created into the freight order. Okay, that would be a linkage from the MM side in TM. One stupid question between difference between classic TM and embedded TM. No question is stupid 10. So I will come to that. I will explain what is the difference between classic and embedded. Embedded TM is one. Embedded TM has a two branch, classic TM and advanced TM. I will come to that. Okay. So once you understand this, so basic shipping and transportation, if you go through this, you would be able to understand the difference. Okay. So what happened now with SAP? The clients was working on ECC and they were having LETRA. LETRA is part of license. When the client is moving to S4HANA, LETRA is there, but SAP is saying that the future is TM. And we have put it a embedded TM. We have given the embedded TM. Embedded TM came up from 1709 version. Okay, from 1709 version, embedded TM came up. You use embedded TM, but for embedded TM, you require license. Client says that I was using these functionality in LETRA. You give me the same functionality. I don't want the advanced TM functionality. I want to make sure that whatever I was able to do in LETRA, I was able to do in S/4HANA also. And that place, SAP divided into the classic TM, which is known as basic shipping, or basic shipment, and advanced TM, which is known as advanced shipment. Now, SAP said that for this, you need to pay license. And this part of classic TM, you would be able to use it. The same functionality which was there in LATRA, similar kind of functionality would be available here, and license is not required. Here again, you would be able to plan your shipments manually. Assign your carriers or freight forwarders manually and execute the shipment. That basic functionality would be there. Here in LETRA, you get create your shipment from the delivery document, if you have seen the cycle, right? In advanced TM, you can also start your transportation process with the sales order. So in basic shipment also, you can start your transportation process from the delivery. That is the thing they have provided. They said that if you are using these functionalities, basic functionality, without your optimization runs, without automatic selection of your vendors, carriers, this is called the basic shipment, and this will not require a license. But implementing this also, license is not required, but TM consultant would be required. Okay, TM consultant would be required. SD consultant would not be able to work because a complete separate module, separate set of data, right? So TM consultant would be required. For advanced TM also you require TM consultant, but this one is without license. That is the difference they have created between basic shipping, classic shipping, or the advanced shipping. Okay, now with this understanding, let's try to go through the mind map. So this is the difference between basic shipping and transportation management, advanced shipping. So this is also a difference between your classic TM and the advanced TM. Now it is only for the shipping industry. Shipping industry means your shipper scenario here. This is only for shipper scenario. This advanced TM you can use for shipper. Now don't ask me what is the difference between shipper and LSP scenario. I'm kidding, you can ask it again, but I have explained in detail, right? What is the difference between shipper and LSP? So this can be used for both industries, the freight forwarding industry also and shipping industry also. Shipping industry means who is shipping the product. So this can be used in shipper only, this can be used in shipper and LSP both. You can only do the delivery-based planning, means your shipment or your freight orders can be created from the delivery. Here you can use both. From sales order itself, you can start your transport planning, and from delivery also, you can start your transportation planning. Both options will be there. You would be able to, in the basic shipping, you would be able to create freight orders with the grouped inbound or outbound deliveries. And you need to do the manual or rule-based planning. Manual planning, you need to do it. Event management would not be available in this, and basic charge calculation and the freight settlement would be available. Only the basic charge calculation, advanced charge calculation would not be available. Now, a lot of these terminology right now, it will not hit in your mind. Just grasp it as it is, because we are going to have a separate full section on the charge management. Okay, almost 2 days, 1 to 2 days will require to cover the charge management, 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so if you don't understand what is charge calculation or charge management, just hold on, we'll cover that. This would be the holistic end-to-end transportation. So you would also, on not only the deliveries, you would also be able to plan based on the orders. You would be able to do the optimization of the transportation planning, the benefits we were talking about, right? That optimization is available here, optimization is not available here. Peer-to-peer broadcasting and tendering, you would also be able to do the tendering. you would be able to create a tender and then receive the quotations from your service providers. And based on the quotation, you would be able to tender. Tender means nothing. You want a service for the logistics. You have given the tender that this is my open tender, this service I require. You submit your quotations, and based on your quotation, I would be agreeing that which service provider I should select for my transportation. So that tendering functionality is only available in advance. Advanced charge calculation with the charge sheet, that would be only available in the advanced TM. Dispute management linkage is only available with this. And the analytics is also available in the advanced. Okay. And connection with your logistics business network, LBN, connected with EWM, those all integrated connections are only available in advanced, not available in the basic one. This is advanced with license. This is basic TM without license. Okay. Now, what is the future? Let's talk about the future. So right now we have a LETRA is available. Only before 2017, only LETRA was available, which provide you the basic shipping functionality. Then we have a SAP S/4HANA embedded TM came up, LETRA providing you the basic shipment. And then we have an embedded SAP S/4HANA transport management come up, that is having a transport management solution and advanced transport management solution. Okay, by 2030, this will completely vanish. The basic shipping is completely vanished. You have only two options: transport management, basic transport management, or advanced. This is without license. This is with license. Okay, now I hope you would be able to understand what was LETRA and what is embedded TM, what is basic shipment and what is advanced shipment. What is the key difference between both of them? LETRAs will completely stop by 2030. When you move to S/4HANA embedded TM, you'll be having two options. One option would be to go ahead with the basic shipping and advanced shipping. Basic shipping don't require a license, but require a TM consultant. Advanced shipping require a license as well as the TM consultant to implement it.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Okay, so with that, you would be, let me have a quick check on time. People have a lot of generic questions. Let me try to answer those generic questions. So now there's one more part which is pending in the architecture that I would be covering because we have already shooted over time. I would be covering next is the deployment options. Okay, what are the deployment options? So far, I have not talked about the standalone TM. We also have a standalone TM. So if you will talk about the solutions now why the TM consultant and why the additional consultants are required? Because earlier we were having LETRA. Now we have LETRA is also there. Then you have a standalone TM. Then you have your basic embedded TM. Then you have your advanced embedded TM. So right now you have 4 options, right? So in a deployment option, what client need to do, in which way, whether for the standalone TM, LETRA, basic embedded or advanced embedded, whether embedded or whether standalone, what would be the difference between both? What should be the approach a client should decide? That part I would be covering in next session in the deployment option. From there, in the next session, we'll be jumping into the process of SAP TM that I have explained you the shipment process, right? Then I will be jumping into the SAP TM process, and then we'll try to run a scenario in system. We'll be having a System Explorer from the next session. As of now, we are not giving the system access because system access would be given to you only for the 3 months. It's a complimentary system access which will be given to you. We try to put it as late as we can do it so that you would be able to fully utilize it. But if you want system access earlier, you have required the system access, you have demanded for earlier, make a note, system access would be there, complimentary system access would be there for 3 months. After that, if you want to get the system access extended, you need to purchase in a bucket of 3 months. Okay, you can extend it for every 3 months. I think somewhere around $120 or 8,500 rupees it has been charged for every 3 months. But make sure with this training bundle, you get complimentary server access for 3 months. After that, you need to subscribe for another one. So this is where we stand. We understand the terminology, some basic part of TM. In the next session, we'll be going into the deployment option. What is standalone TM? What is embedded TM? How we need to suggest our client where they need to go for standalone, where they need to go for embedded one. And then we'll be jumping into the end-to-end process in TM in SAP S/4HANA, and then running that process in the system. After that session, we'll start configuring our own system. That's the point I will actually would be giving you the system access, that you will be creating your own first SD organization structure, then TM organization structure after understanding them, and then preparing your system, and then we'll jumping into the master data. That's the process we are going to follow. Today's session, the support team have put it open. So few of you have joined, you have not enrolled yet. Next session, you would only be able to join once you enroll it. Okay. If you don't enroll it, you will not get chance to join the next session. Now, any question you have, you can ask it now. I would be just back in a minute. I already see some questions are there. I would be coming back and answering them. Just taking a biological break. If you have any question, you can feel free to put it on the chat. Generic question, first I will be taking the topic related question, and then if you have a generic question, that we will take it up. Okay, I will be back in a minute. The first question I have from the Gino is, in embedded TM, do we require shipment document or it is replaced by the freight order? No, the shipment document is replaced by the freight order in the embedded TM also, and in the standalone TM also, we don't have a shipment document. It is replaced by the freight order. That's a correct statement. Is it a good idea to move from standalone TM to embedded TM? That's a question from Supreet. Supreet, I would be answering that question. I just show that deployment option I would be talking about. So standalone TM has a different requirement and embedded TM has a different requirement. Now there's one more confusion has came up. There's a TM 9.6 as a standalone, and there is a SAP S/4HANA embedded TM as a standalone. Okay, so there's a more confusion into it. I will clear into the next chapter in the next class that standalone would be having its own requirement, the business requirement, we need to go for standalone. But standalone also TM 9.6 or S/4HANA embedded TM as a standalone. That I would be answering into the next question, Supreet. Next session, next Sunday. Okay, Gino has a question. I mean, it's the same question on the in embedded TM. Do we require shipment document, or it is replaced by freight order? I mean, the company that was already using shipment document, what would happen to those shipment documents when they move to embedded TM? So when you're moving it to embedded TM, your previous shipment documents does not come here. There is no movement from the shipment document to the new one because they both use a separate set of code. So there is no conversion that your shipment document will become a freight orders. That does not happen. So you need to make sure you close down the all the previous shipment documents, that you close it down, and it would be a fresh and a scratch start on embedded TM. There is no conversion available from LETRA to SAP TM. There is no conversion happening. You need to get it stopped there. Okay, get it settled. The open shipment cost document and the open shipment document, short close them if it is not executed, and then come into SAP S/4HANA embedded TM and start from the scratch. We use TM with ECC. Yes, you can use TM with ECC. You can use embedded TM with ECC, or you can use standalone TM with ECC. Okay, that you can use it. That is also, you will get more clarity, Rishabh, into the next chapter when I will be covering this deployment option. Okay, standalone, embedded, or how to use with ECC, how to use with S4HANA. TM planning will be an important topic. How deep we will be, the faculty would be going. Can we have a 5-minute session with the planning who will be covering the TM planning? I have already responded to that, Sachin. Just put your expectation, what you are expecting over the email, and then we will be forwarding it to Adi. And if required, we will be more than happy to schedule a call, 5-minute call with you with Adi. So Venkat, next session would be on next Sunday. I will confirm it's 6:30 or 6:45. Once you enroll, you will be getting the email. I just need to confirm with Adi that I can join, I can start in 6:30, but if you will not be able to start 6:30, then we'll be starting the 6:45 time only. Okay. But I will try my best. We put a fixed time of 6:30. You will get informed over the email if you are enrolled by tomorrow. Atish is asking, do we learn advanced TM? After doing this TM, you would be able to work on to the basic shipment and advanced shipment. Both scenarios you would be able to work on. Basic shipment also, advanced shipment also. Both scenarios you would be able to work on. Santosh has a generic question. I'm new to SAP. I'm able to create sales order, delivery, and freight units and freight orders using standard data, watching your YouTube videos. Do you still think it will be complex for me to start SAP TM? Want to speak with you personally so I can decide. Okay, Santosh, just stay on there for a few more minutes. I will open the unmute access, then we can have a little bit of discussion. Let me understand your profile, then I would be able to make a better, then I would be able to better suggest you. Okay, so Preet is asking, let me know which is suitable for oil and gas industry downstream along with the TSW, ANS, SCSD. Can you elaborate TSW, ANS, SCSD? I'm not able to get it, Supreet. Yeah, please elaborate that terminology, TSW, ANS, SCSD. So Tan is asking, I want to register, need a bank details. Do we have an access to class recording? So all the things would be shared with you. So we have two things. We have a TM dynamic content. So as soon as you enroll the dynamic content, the full recording of the full dynamic content, the recorded videos you will get it. You will also get it the previous session recordings, the previous batch which we have completed. That recordings also you will get it as soon as you enroll it. And this session which is happening, that recording also you will get it. So right now you are running a project, and in that project you want to work on to the settlement, or you want to prepare your cost calculation. Okay, cost calculation sheet you need to prepare, and that we'll be covering in 1.5 months. You need it now. So dynamic access is there with you. Dynamic videos are there with you. You can go through and go through that videos even before you start. Okay. So all the videos would be available with you even from the day one. And this video, recorded videos also would be uploaded within 24 hours. Sachin Arora is asking, will config will be also covered, freight order, freight unit, settlement related configs? Yes. This is a TM consultant training. This is not an end user training. So we'll be going through the different config, how the freight unit configuration, your freight unit building rules, your order type configuration, settlement document configurations, the integrated configuration, how SD and TM integration, or delivery and TM integration, or inbound delivery and TM integration, those configuration, those would be covered for sure. Thank you, Gino. Thank you for appreciating for the session. Traders and traders and schedules workbench and supply chain secondary distribution. So Preet, unfortunately, I don't have a much exposure to both of them, so I would not be able to recommend you which one you need to go through it. Okay, what you can do, you can ask support team to set up a one-to-one session with me. Okay, and then we can have a detailed discussion so that I can a little bit understand it, and then I would be able to recommend something. Rishabh Surana is asking, we'll be working on Fiori or NWBC? You would be working on Fiori. Okay, because from 1909 or 2020 system, SAP has stopped the NWBC. So we don't use NWBC now in TM, the NWBC transactions. We need to access through the Fiori that SAP has stopped. I think from 2020, they have stopped that. Okay, so we'll be working on Fiori. With this training, you will also be getting a lot of complementary things. One complementary thing which we are giving is A to Z to Fiori. Okay, let me show you what things you get it. A to Z Fiori self-paced videos, training, full training, you will be getting it as a complimentary. Just give me a minute. Let me open it. So we give the access into the bundle. Check the link does not work. Yeah, so this is the link for the bundle. This is the thing we will be getting it. SAP S/4HANA TM. This is our dynamic videos. So full video content as soon as you enroll, you get it. 3 months of ERP. I am again saying this is a complimentary 3 months of server access. Okay, the kind of charges we are putting it to you, we hardly cover the cost for it. Okay, these are the dedicated system. S/4HANA system has been put it up to you. There is a lot of challenges with that. A lot of resources has been used. So we are giving a 3 months of complimentary access. After this, if you want to continue, and more than 70% of our students still continue because they understand that they need to do a lot of more practice in the system, even though they are into the TM projects, they don't have that kind of system access. Authorizations are not there. So they still continue with the server access, but you need to subscribe it by paying 107 after 3 months. Okay. We don't have any free upgrades after the 3 months is finished. Okay. You will be getting a step-up circles. Every Monday morning, I do the sessions on the step-up circles. That also you will be getting complimentary, joining those sessions live or joining it or going through the recordings. So we have covered a lot of modules overview. If you want FIC overview, SD overview, EWM overview, Ariba overview, what are the SD changes in 2021, data archiving, how does it happen, HANA migration cockpit. So many things has been included in this. More than 100 hours of videos are available. That also we give you complimentary. Because I understand when you doing consulting, a lot of integration with the other modules you will be doing it, and a lot of overview you require it. So that overviews has been covered in this. If you need help in the certification, there is a product where basically certification questions you will be able to practice it. This is the gamifier mode, the live session. All the recording of the live session and the link to join the live session would be available under this bucket. Then Fiori A to Z for functional consultant. This is also you will be getting it. This is a course prepared by me. As a functional consultant, whatever you want to know about Fiori, everything would be available in this. Okay, everything would be available in this. TM interview questions. You would also be getting a TM interview questions from here. If you want to prepare for interview, we have a product TM interview question. HANA data migration cockpit, we have put it a separate course that also we give you complimentary in this. So these 9 products, okay, basically the cost is this for the gamifier live sessions. But all the things we give it complimentary, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 products you will be getting it all together in this bundle. This is a separate self-paced course that how you would be uploading a data by using HANA Migration Cockpit, how you would be handling a Fiori in detail with the Fiori architecture as a functional consultant, whatever the things you need to know about Fiori is covered in this program. So that many things we are giving it to you. I can challenge you. Nowhere in the world you will get that many things in that much of price. I again say it hardly cover our cost. Okay, so please don't ask for discounts. Ranga Reddy is asking how many recording sessions you have. We have a full recording session, so you can go here. Let me open into the new tab so you can check. So this one you will be getting the recordings. Okay. So mastery class on SAP S/4HANA TM. These are the recording sessions. Close this one. Then evaluation and architecture assignments are also available. Then master data, detailed videos are available. Then we have transportation zones, location zones, assignment, and then routes, freight unit and freight order, transportation planning, TM optimization, execution, transportation charge management, charge settlement, different technology and concept, the BOPF, BARDI, PPFs, PCF, these are the advanced things. Overview has been covered here. TM integration with another components, the people were asking a lot of integration aspects, right? That has been covered here, but that is theoretical. We will not be able to show in the system. LBN integrations we have covered in this. Okay. So these are few more articles are there, which we have put it here that are in the bonus. So this is the dynamic content. And then we also have a content. You will also be getting a recordings from the previous session if you want to go through it. So if you go through into this gamifier sessions, in this, you will be able to see that this is the batch we have done last 22 July. All the recordings, you will be getting it from the previous batch also. This is the gamifier mode we have done, the live sessions. So total we did last time, we did 25 sessions. Okay, we commit 40 hours of instructor-led training. Content is increasing for TM. We are also planning the advanced content and the technical content to do in TM 2.0 training. TM technical training, we are planning to start it separately. That would be completely separate charge, separate bundle would be there. As of now, we are having a discussion with the trainers, creating a content for TM technical training, and that would be a separate training because a lot of people are requiring it TM technical also. For that, basic knowledge of coding would be required, but this is pure functional course, which right now we are talking about. Yes, Sachin is asking, can we give the another email? Yes, you can give the another email. That's not a problem. Fee, the link has been given. You need to click on the link and then you will be able to see the fee, because fee, I'm not showing it here and I'm not telling, because when you click the country you are in, based on that, the fee is same from us, but based on the different taxes, the taxes will be included and the fee you will see different from the different countries based on the tax on that country. So link has been given. You click on the link and you will be able to see the fee. What fee I see in India might be a little different what you see in USA. As a functional consultant, can we learn the TM technical? As a functional consultant, you would be able to learn TM technical, but we have one course called ABAP for functional consultant. We recommend that before you're going for TM technical, you complete the ABAP for functional consultant. Then you would be able to understand TM technical better. Okay, ABAP for functional consultant. That is what I will recommend you before you jump into TM Technical. Tan is asking, do you have a videos about SAP RISE training? I have covered one detailed video, 2 hours video is SAP RISE, that we have put it in our content of Activate. We have a separate training for Activate. In that, 2 hour video is available on RISE. That what is SAP RISE, what does it covers, and what does it means to you as a functional consultant. So Bhupender and Aman start giving the links of the additional training I'm talking about. ABAP for functional consultant training link for the Activate, where we have a SAP RISE covered. Shrikant is asking how long the recorded videos would be available for access. Recorded videos would be available for access for 1 year. After 1 year, if you still want to have access, let's say if you want to have access for this part, these videos you still want to have access after 1 year, okay? Or if you want to have a full bundle access for another 1 year, then you need to pay 50% of the total cost. So if you want to just have these videos for another year, you just pay $247 divided by 2. That you need to pay. You will be getting an extension for another year for these videos. Otherwise, in standard bundle, you will be getting 1 year access. Prem is asking, do you have TM technical course? We don't have it as of now. We are preparing it. Okay, if you are interested, let us know. We are preparing a TM technical course, having a discussion with our trainer, finalizing the content, finalizing his availability, and then we'll start soon. Support team has shared the link for ABAP for functional consultant and Activate. Both link has been shared for the trainings if you want them. With this, I have answered all of the questions which has been asked, and we will be ending our today's session. Make sure you are available in the next session. And in next session, I would be asking everyone to be available with your notepad and pen, or if you want to take digitalized notes, you should take a notes, and I would be asking you to share your notes at the end of the session over the LinkedIn link. Okay, today's notes also you can share over LinkedIn. It's a very good practice. If you have created a good notes, just take a picture and put that picture on the LinkedIn and tag me. Or in the comments also, you can upload the picture. Okay, again repeating you, the end game is to get a good opportunities, right? That LinkedIn will help you a lot to get those done. Okay, I'm putting a LinkedIn link again. Just if you are still finalizing your notes, finalize your notes and then put it on this LinkedIn link. Bomi Shetty is asking if I want to learn, if I want to start learning, then which video do I need to consider? Is SAP S/4HANA TM or Gamifier? Gamifier would be the live session. Let's say if you want to proceed ahead, then we recommend that if you want to do a structural video-based training, you can go with SAP S/4HANA TM. This content also, we would be upgrading it. We make sure that we keep on upgrading this content. Whatever the additional videos, additional topics we cover in the Gamifier, we try to put in SAP S/4HANA TM dynamic content. So you go through SAP S/4HANA TM dynamic content if you want to go ahead on your own step by step. If you are joining the live session, if you have taken the bundle access, then I will recommend you that you go through this live session, recording of this live session. Whichever video you need to go through the dynamic content, I will let you know during the training. But if you want to start on your own, go with the SAP S/4HANA TM content. Okay, with that, we are ending our today's session. Thank you everyone for joining today. And we'll catch you in the next session, Sunday, whether 6:30 a.m. or 6:45 a.m. I will get confirmed to you. Thank you, everyone, and we'll catch you. Thank you for spending your time over weekend with me. We'll catch you again later next Sunday morning. Bye-bye till then. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating the session. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Oh, sorry. Santosh, I forgot. Okay, other people can drop off. Santosh wants to have a word with me. Santosh, I will give you a chance to unmute. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot completely. Thank you for everyone who is appreciating the session. I would appreciate more if you can put the same into the LinkedIn, in the LinkedIn comments. Yeah, Santosh, you have now, you can
Hey,
unmute yourself.
hi, sorry. But yeah, I'm from US. I'm as of now it is 10:54. So I just wanted to check with you one thing. I have previous experience in IT, working as a software quality analyst, and I thought of moving into SAP. The main motto of moving into SAP TM is because of my brother-in-law is also a consultant from last 5-10 years. And then based upon his feedback, I thought of moving into TM. But I know it's a complex, as he also said it will be a complex. But as per your suggestion, you said you want me to go to SD. But however, I'm more interested to go with SAP TM since I'm did some groundwork from last 2-3 months, watching your videos, going through the documents and all. Also followed those videos from Satish end-to-end two cycles that he mentioned in the YouTube. I did hands-on practice as well. So I know it's just an hands-on practice, it's just an end-to-end, not a complex. But when I go in depth, I think there will be complexity. But do you still think I can start with SAP TM, or should I have to go with some other module?
Okay. First question. So, how many years of IT experience you have, and what kind of job profile it was, that exactly what you was doing?
So I'm currently working for a retail client called Best Buy. I'm working from last, I mean, overall experience is almost 9+ years, but I'm working for this client for past 4-5 years. And not on SAP for sure. Yeah. So my background is completely not into SAP. I'm a software quality analyst.
Okay, so you software quality analyst, you was testing what has been
Testing.
developed.
That's correct.
Okay, is that the operations testing, means their business processes you was testing, or what
No, the
exactly?
applications, the web applications, mobile applications they develop, we will be testing with integration between different applications within Best Buy. So we
Okay.
consume different services from other. We also do kind of order management. We source and fulfill those orders as well. So that kind of integration that I was working on.
Okay, so whenever you jump into SAP, just try to, switch that experience with SAP, right? Try to show some SAP testing experience that will help you rather
Okay.
than their web application. Second thing, you talked about your brother-in-law. So is he working in SAP TM?
Yeah, he's.
Okay, whether he has he would be having that, he has tell you that you do the TM, then I would be able to pull you in my company, or I would be able to recommend you, refer you, and he would be helping you a lot to starting getting your first job in SAP TM.
He can guide me building my resume, and then, but I'm not sure if he can pull me into his company, because he's a contractor, he's a consultant working for a US company. So
Okay, got it. Now you have already spent the 2 to 3 months of efforts, and you have also did the hands-on. So from where you got the server?
that's a good question, but I don't want to discuss that, because
Okay,
that was
I
an
can
XYZ
understand that.
company.
I can
They said,
understand, not a problem.
yeah. So
Yeah, okay. So because you have put it a 2 to 3 months of efforts, I don't want you to, go back from the track which you have already started and start from the zero. Okay, so I would say that you go ahead with SAP TM. Okay, with SAP TM, when you are going ahead, two things we can do. One thing is that we have started a course that um, functional consultant, functional module overview. Okay, functional module overview, where we are covering, so far we have covered SD, MM, PP, FICO, those courses we have covered so far, right?
Okay.
And we'll be covering some more detail of some advanced courses also. So with that course, you will be at least having an idea that what happens in SD module, what happens in MM module. Then you would be able to understand the integration in little bit better way. So I would suggest with TM, you take that course, the overview of the functional modules, and go ahead with TM. If we struggle in between with the TM, because end goal is TM, even if you do SD first, end goal would be doing a TM, right? If you struggle in between, if you find it is very difficult and you are not able to cop up, then we would be coming into a picture. Then I have asked many people to start with SD, but it is not a zero start with SD. Just take SD course and try to go through 30 to 40% of the part of the SD. Okay, that would be doing some basic sales scenario. Then you would be having a good hands on the system. You would be having good understanding, and then you would be able to jump ahead back into the TM. But with your early preparation, I think if you go ahead with SAP TM and functional module overview course, you would be able to proceed ahead. If you are able to so far do end-to-end scenario and you feel comfortable with the screens, I think you should continue with TM. If you face any difficulties in between, but you will see, but I think 70 to 80% you will not face because you have already prepared for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Just take that functional module overview course. That will I suggest.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So you mean functional model is a separate course other than TM, or?
Yeah, functional module overview is a separate course. We started based for specifically for our technical consultants. So same way we have a ABAP for functional modules, same way we have a functional module overview for the technical consultants. So idea behind that course was that the technical consultant should be able to get overview of all the functional modules. But later on, a lot of people came up that they are working into the one module. They need a overview of another modules. They're working as a manager. They are working as a solution architect. They also need to know that what are the SAP modules, different modules, and what happens in that. That's why we put it open for everyone. And in that module, I spend 2 hours of session in each module to make sure you know what happens in ST, what happened in MM, what happened in PP from the business process perspective, and what kind of basic transactions are there in SAP for them.
Okay.
Okay, so that will be giving you good, because you don't have any SAP background, that would be giving you a quick background of SAP different modules and how do they work.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do it on self-paced, or currently the live session is also happening. The session which has already happened, you will go through the self-paced, and the rest of the session you can go through the live sessions.
Will I be getting, if I join TM, will I be getting those videos so that I can go ahead and watch those videos in the bundle?
The bundle you will be getting 9 set of courses you will be getting in bundle. What functional consultant overview is a separate course. You need to enroll separately for that.
Okay.
Bhupender, can you give the link over the chat for the functional consultant functional modules overview? That's a separate course. That's not included in this bundle, because that what we have tried to put it in bundle, that would be, you know, most of the people, if they want to TM consultant, what is required for them, that all the things I have tried to put it and give it in a bundle. Now, this is a specific thing for the specific scenario. That's not part of bundle.
Okay. Okay, I'll think of this, and I will keep you posted.
You can think of it, and based on that, you can take your call.
Sure. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Bhupender, Aman, can you share the link? Or Santosh, you can also drop a message to sastrageek.com/WA, and then they will share the link. I am putting a link again.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Okay, the link has been shared. You can check from this link, Santosh. You can store this link, because once the session will be ended, you will lose access to these links. So this link, you can have access to it. This is the link for the functional consultant. Tan is asking, what is self-paced training? Self-paced training means you need to go on your own. In the bundle, we'll be going through the TM live sessions, but your HANA Migration Cockpit, A to Z Fiori, those are available as a videos you need to go through on your own. Okay, so with this, we are ending our today's session, and we would be joining back next Sunday. Okay, hope to get in touch with you in next Sunday session. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.